Hi everyone, welcome back to my second review, sort of like, well, I guess you could call it all the Star Wars reviews. And obviously today we're going to be moving on to the Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, Darth Vader. I never thought I'd see the day when I was saying that, because we were unsure of whether we were actually getting this figure or not, but we managed to get it. And my god, it's a dream. But let's move on anyway. Let's take this box out of its shipper. Now, this box is actually a bit bigger than the usual Movie Masterpiece box, purely because the figure is so massive and dominating. So as you can see here, you've got a picture of the figure. Once again, it's not a picture from, well, a still from the film. You've got Star Wars written in reflective lighting, MMS 279, Darth Vader Movie Masterpiece, Hot Toys. This is Star Wars, Darth Vader. Same on the other side, Disney once again. Now on the back, you've got the writing, all the crew that put this fantastic figure together. So if you take off the lid, you're then greeted by the card insert of Darth Vader looking just ridiculously, dominating. Well, that's what I was looking for. You got Death Star in the background, a couple of Star Destroyers, and then two Stormtroopers behind him. Loads of Stormtroopers here, and then him walking, and then him and Obi-Wan fighting in the corner there. Star Wars, MMS 279, Darth Vader. So if you take off the insert, you're then greeted by the figure, usually, and its accessories, but it's actually been taken out here. So yeah, I'm going to move on now and actually show you the figure itself with all its accessories. Okay guys, so here we have the 1/6 scale Batman. Ha 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 ha. Joking, it's Darth Vader. Lols. No, I'm kidding. This is the 1/6 scale Darth Vader from A New Hope. It is slightly different, as people have said, from the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi suit. Sort of changes, but maybe they'll do another one from those films because it's slightly different. Maybe they won't. Who knows? But at the moment, we've got this. Now, as you can see on his suit, he's got all the buttons and little bells and whistles that go with it. It's obviously mostly leather. You get this nice piece here, the helmet's fantastic. And you get these tunics at the side and then the long cape at the back and then his boots. You know, you standard stuff. You get this stand, obviously it's the same as the Obi-Wan Kenobi stand, but it's got a red bottom instead. It says Star Wars Darth Vader, you can see that, there you go. Then you have the interrogation droid. The button, so if you actually put batteries in this, it can make breathing sounds and say quotes when you press the W on the remote. It says Star Wars. To be honest, I don't really like that. It's sort of grown on me a tiny bit because it would be pretty cool to sort of show your friends, but it's just, I don't know, yeah, I don't understand it. Anyway, you got a stand that you can put the interrogator droid on so it can sort of look like it's floating. You've got these pieces that you put on to the interrogator droid. You've got this extra arm so you can have the light up lightsaber, it's really cool. And then you have the different hands, so sort of like grasping hands. So you've got the two fisted hands on the figure. You've got, I really don't know how to explain these. From the top, this one actually kind of looks like a trigger hand. In fact, yeah, even from the back it looks a bit like a trigger hand, but if you can find a pose for that, then that's great, man. You've got this relaxed sort of palm hand, and then you've got the lightsaber holding hand. You only get one of these, which is a bit strange, but he mostly holds it in his right hand anyway. Of course, you get the lightsaber. This one actually has a removable blade. I'll show this later on, because obviously I need two hands. It's got a little, like, got to mention this in the Obi-Wan review, it's got like little metal clips, so you can obviously clip it onto his belt. And the detail on this, if I just get it kind of up close, is just fantastic. For any of you say, I know I do have nasty fingernails, whatever. But yeah, the detail on this is just immense. So yeah, that's it for his accessories. And now I'm going to put him in a cool pose for you guys to see. And then we'll move on to articulation. So here we have Darth Vader in the first pose I'm going to show you guys. Now, it's a pretty simple pose. He's just got his lightsaber in his hand, and then obviously just a fisted hand. But just on its own, he just looks so dominating. It's just huge. It's just like, it's not frightening, obviously, because it's a bleeding figure, for God's sake, but it's just, it looks so dead on and just so perfect. And I mean, you know, it's not like, oh, it's such fantastic head sculpt, it's got such great likeness. It's nothing to do with that. It's the fact that as a figure, the proportions, the suit, the accessories just make it look fantastic. So yeah, there's a pose for you guys in case you just want to copy it. It's a pretty simple pose, and we're going to do another one later, obviously, for the final verdict. But now that's it, we're going to move on to articulation. So like I said, guys, this lightsaber, I can actually show it now because I've got two hands. But you have the blade here. Unlike Obi-Wan Kenobi, you don't get a hilted lightsaber. So you literally just very, very carefully, because this is very thin plastic, pop it out. The end here is just quite clear, because obviously you're not going to see it anyway. Just take that out, and there's your hilt. But like I said, be very, very careful, because it is thin plastic, and then you just pop it back in. Great. So now we're going to move on to articulation. Got the figure here now. First of all, I'd like to start by saying, of course, I can't turn around and say, wow, the nose is really spot on, the eyes are spot on, but, you know, the helmet is very good, very, very well done. Even you can actually see on the in-person, obviously I can't really show it here, but you know, there's not damage, but, you know, like scratches on his helmet, and there's bits here that, you know, you can see. And the proportions are just perfect. Like when Max, my brother, first got it out of the packaging, I looked at it and I thought, the head is huge and the body is just huge. It's absolutely perfect, just the proportions. But obviously we're going to move on to articulation. So his head can move, safest bet is about that much right, that much left. Can look down just about that much, so it's not a lot. Can look up about that much, so it's not a lot. But I've never actually noticed that before. If you lift up his head, you can actually see the chain that connects his cape. There. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Hey, it's pretty good. You can lift up his arm to the side just about that much. You can lift it up about that much. You can bring it in and out on the shoulder, not a terrible amount. Bring it up here that much. And it rotates at the bicep about 20 degrees. It's not very much. Next you can bring his leg up about that much, so it's not a lot. Bends at the kneecap just about that much, just to be, you know, safe. His foot doesn't move up and down a lot, it's just a tiny bit, because then the whole leg starts to move with it. No ankle pivot whatsoever, and then obviously it can rotate side to side. So that's it for articulation. Like I said with the Obi-Wan Kenobi review, and I mean, don't think that I'm just saying this just to kind of get off with, you know, doing some real articulation, but it's as much articulation as you need for that character. So, you know, it moves as much as it needs to. So I'm really happy about that. So now we're going to move on to my final verdict. So now my final verdict on the figure. So I've got him in this pose, this awesome pose, if I may say so myself, with the interrogator droid in the back. The parts haven't been put on that yet, but it's on its stand, which you can't complain, it's a stand for it, but it's like made of this, like you can kind of hear it, it's cheap plastic, and then it comes like stand. But you know, you can't complain. It's good at the end of the day, but if it snaps, you're screwed. You know, I've got him in this pose just looking all badass. If you actually play the Star Wars Battlefront game, which in my personal opinion is a pretty good game, I don't get why people don't like it. I will agree it's an incomplete game with the maps and stuff, but you know, Anyway, whatever. But when he actually starts and you start playing as Darth Vader in the game, this is kind of the pose what he starts out with and then ignites his lightsaber. So, yeah, with the final thoughts, again, the same as Obi-Wan Kenobi, there's not really a lot I can say other than the fact that it's just everything you want it to be. The accessories are fantastic, the detail is fantastic, the costume is fantastic, even the sculpt, the way they just got the scratches and the breathalyzer and stuff like that, just absolutely perfect. If you even look close when you actually get the figure, you can see a red tint in the eyes, which is amazing. You know, they've just got it absolutely perfect. For any Star Wars fan, any collector, this is fantastic. So that's really all I have to say. Stay tuned to the channel, I've got some more reviews coming up. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.